Welcome to Caffeinate and Advocate, the show where we sip coffee and talk all things mental health. I'm your host, Jess, and today I am joined by Kelly Smith, who is a regional director at Peerstar. Kelly, where are we today?
We are in Lititz, Pennsylvania, and unfortunately there's a lot of activity going on because we have a big arts festival coming this weekend. So,
fortunately though, it is the cutest little town, and I have been excited since the moment I got here. I don't live in this area, so I got to come through a covered bridge. There is a row of ducks swimming behind us. Yeah, I love this. I'm gonna have to go explore a little bit before we're done.
yeah, coolest little town in America, they say.
Coolest little town in America.
Yeah.
And there's a hotel across the street whose walls smell like chocolate, so I may have to try that. We're gonna chocolinate and advocate. I have no idea. So today I talked to Kelly a little bit before we got here today about something that you are passionate about advocating for. And you told me that you really have a desire to educate people on medication compliance. Mm-hmm. So can you tell me, like, if I were to ask you, what is medication compliance? What do you mean by medication compliance?
If a doctor is recommending a psychotropic
Medication management. I'm sorry, not medication
That's
compliance.
Okay.
Medication management, because those are two different things.
Yes.
So if medication management, how would you describe that?
So you have prescriptions. A lot of problems with people that are struggling in their recovery is that they are not taking their meds as prescribed. There's a reason that the doctors prescribe it. I have sat through hundreds of psychiatric evaluations and med management meetings where we go through medications and make sure that they are they're not having any side effects. There's a mantra that I worked with two different psychiatrists, and they both said the same thing, is that if you have side effects, you're on the wrong meds. That yes, there's a period of adjustment, but they said between up to 6 weeks at the most, you should actually have no side effects. You should have a feeling of okay. And with that, I was always working with at the time we called them clients, when I was with the Department of Mental Health and Developmental Services up in the Poconos. And I can't tell you, I had somebody that came in and they had 13 medications, and they ended up with down to 3. By the time we went through, reviewed, we took them off of some of them that were somebody had a side effect, so another doctor gave a different one to counter the side effect, and then you have 3 different meds with 3 different side effects at 6 meds. It was just the insanity of it all was unacceptable. And of course, it's like they're going to forget, even if they have the alarms. 13 medications is something very difficult to manage, as well as they're expensive. Yes, expensive. Very expensive. And the tears that I would receive by walking in somebody's door, it was just, it was heartbreaking to see what it does to somebody who's unable to figure out why they just can't feel okay.
Yeah, everybody's body processes medication differently, processes food differently. Yes. You know, we have different time frames that it takes our body to metabolize things. So there's a bunch of unique circumstances. And if you're on 13 medications, it would be really, really hard to find out which one is not making you feel better, which one's not making you said okay, which one's not making you feel okay if you're on 13.
Yeah, because as they pull off each one, okay, well, what was the reaction when they pulled the one off? What was the reaction on this one? They finally got it down to 3 because they had their, and of course this is not including their they had high blood pressure. They had a high blood pressure medication. But with that being said, they had 2. They had one with the high blood pressure, and then it was making them sick, so they were also taking something for their stomach. So they were able to get rid of the one, which was Zofran. They were able to get rid of that because of the fact that they got on the right medication. So right there you got rid of one. And then they ended up slowly but surely seeing what are any of them reacting with the blood pressure medication. And so those are questions that you can ask your doctor is what are the side effects? How is this going to react with these medications? Are there any? You can also do those.
What? In case he can't cut that out, that was a truck of porta potties going over a speed bump. So I'm sorry, but you need that visual in case that sound can't be cut out. You were just saying about things you could do or things to talk about your doctor. So let's you just explain what medication management is.
Yeah.
What are some strategies that you would suggest to somebody who maybe has a lot of medication and wants to learn how to manage those or to advocate to find out which ones are really, best for them?
So strategies, personally, I would always suggest you first and foremost having alarms on your phone or some other, if you're not using your cell phone, if you're not a cell phone person, I would always suggest having some type of an alarm that is letting you know you need to take your med. And when I used to distribute meds as well, I was able to do that in a different position. And if it was more than 2 hours at the time, it was considered a med error. And so just understand that is how critical it is for you to take your meds on time.
Well, I know some individuals that, I've worked with, and I mean, myself included, there's been medication that I've had, and it's not always mental health medication. It can be for physical health aspects that you're supposed to, my doctor prescribed to take at night, but then it interferes with sleeping. And so it's important to call the doctor and say, hey, can I take this on a different schedule because right now it's not letting me sleep? And so then you work with your doctor to find out that, yeah, go ahead, take it at 6 in the morning and 6 in the evening.
I'm going to spin off of that because what I've been working with my CPSs on right now is making sure that if your peers are using their phones at all, if they live out of their phones, like most people do, calendars, etc., have a note section in there for a note for the supervisor, a note for your CPS, a note for your doctor, a note for your family member that you talk to that you want to remember, because as especially as we age, sometimes, or as we're going through mental health recovery, our memory is not always there because we're worried about porta-johns driving by. So we can worry about those things, and it's difficult to stay on task. And so that is something that it's a strategy that I find a lot of people are very successful with.
I think people hesitate to talk about medication because a doctor's prescribed it. They feel like, and I'm not, that's not my specialty. I am not going to be someone who prescribes medication, completely understands medication. I have to ask questions. And so I just want people to know that it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to have conversations, to do your research on medication, but you always want to work with your doctor before you change anything.
And we can go back to the fact that everybody's metabolism is different. So if you're metabolizing it in a certain way, if you stop taking it, your reaction to it could be a lot different than somebody else. You literally could have a withdrawal from whatever medication it is, even though that is not one of the typical side effects. So it is really super important for you to follow through with your doctor whenever you're discussing any type of change to your medication.
Well, Kelly, thank you so much. Before we end things, I do have to do a coffee can question. Kelly has no idea what these are because I did not tell her beforehand. And obviously she hasn't watched any episodes, or she just watched the ones where I forgot my coffee can. So Kelly, pull out a random question, and some of these are mental health and recovery related, some of them are not.
Okay.
So hopefully you just pull one that we've never done before. So pull a question, read it, and you and I will both answer it.
Oh gosh, okay.
And it'll change the world. Guaranteed.
Alrighty.
You're solving all the world's problems.
Let's practice gratitude. What is something good that happened today you would like to acknowledge?
I've already shared that. I went under a covered bridge. I am at a park with ducks. I love ducks. I love all critters. I'm in a cute little town, and it's only 9:30 in the morning, so it's a good day.
I've had a couple of things, and I have a baby shower coming this weekend, so I've been diligently working on getting that together for my daughter-in-law, and I have you in person.
Whoa! What? For your daughter-in-law, that means the baby shower is for a grandbaby.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even more exciting.
Yeah, my husband thinks I'm crazy.
No, that's so exciting. Very cool.
So, because I am going over the top.
Kelly, while we end today, I always just like to see if anyone has some words of hope, something that if someone's watching here, if you just have anything you'd like to let someone who's watching Caffeinate and Advocate know.
There is a time you can be okay. I can only strongly suggest that you follow through with talking to your doctors. Talk about what side effects you have. Talk about how you can feel okay, how you can get on the least amount of meds as possible. That is a realism here. That's totally realistic for you to do that. There's hope. There is always hope. And if you need support, we are here for you. Like, we are absolutely here to help you walk through every little baby step. But yeah, awesome. You'll be okay. You can be okay.
Well, thanks, Kelly, and thanks for watching. Join us next time as we caffeinate and advocate. I like a little cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.